Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the night sky this week for, of course, December 7th. I can't believe we're already well into the month of December. I hope you had a good weekend. Did you guys finish your holiday shopping? Are you still clicking around online or rushing to stores? I hope you're staying safe and healthy. Thank you so much for joining me. Every week we're here, whether you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, or on YouTube. I hope you are clicking on the subscribe button. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe, follow my channels. You don't want to miss every week covering what you can see in the night sky. Perhaps you're new to the hobby. Maybe you're doing it with just your eyes. Maybe you have a pair of binoculars, or maybe you have a telescope and you weren't quite sure what to do with it and what you can see other than the moon, which is really easy to see, of course. But there's a lot out there. And I've got the chat room open. I can see folks from Montana, from Minnesota, from Texas, from Sweden, from California, from Labrador, Canada. Welcome, everyone, wherever you are around the world. I hope you do have some clear skies this week, because we're going to be talking about asteroids. We're talking about lions in the sky. We're talking about the moon, of course, queens and star clusters, and a meteor shower. Probably the best meteor shower of 2020. And my goodness, out of this year, we need something good, don't we? And maybe we can make plenty of wishes on this wonderful meteor shower that's in store this week. So why don't we jump in? And right off the bat, I wanted to share with you this picture. I took this picture Sunday night, so that's December 6th. I took this picture of looking towards the southwest. This is a wide-angle shot with my iPhone, and what you see is maybe about 40 minutes after my local sunset here in Montreal, Canada, where I'm located. And what you'll see is two bright stars closer to the horizon. I've got my mouse over that, and you can see those two stars are actually planets. Those are the two largest planets in the solar system. That's Saturn, that's the fainter one, and the brighter one, lower right of it, is Jupiter. These are the two brightest planets that we can see right now in the evening sky, and they are heading for what we call a conjunction. So mark this down on your calendar. They're going to be at their closest together on December 21st. You may have heard some buzz in the media about this. There are some articles popping up here and there, and this is something really impressive to see. And the best way to really enjoy it is with the naked eye or with a pair of binoculars. And what you're going to be seeing are these two worlds coming so close together. I mean, we're going to be seeing Jupiter and Saturn so close together that they will appear as one star. So they will come together and they will appear as one star. I think that's incredible. And we haven't seen that for almost 400 years. In the year 1623 was the last time this happened. And it wasn't even observable that well. You'd have to go back to probably around the 1200, sometime in 1220, 21, something like that. I have to check the exact year, but even farther back, 400 years even farther back. So we're talking about 800 years, 8 centuries ago is when the last time this was easily visible on Earth. So December 21st is the conjunction, where the close meetup of both Jupiter and Saturn. And this is what you can see in the southwestern sky. This is, again, a picture I took. There's other stars that are visible above here, but these two stars over here is what you should be looking at. Low, close to in the southwest, after your sunset. Check that out and keep tabs on them, because over the next 2 weeks until the 21st, they are going to get closer and closer together. And it'll just be impressive to be able to see that and follow it if you can with your eyes or binoculars, or of course a telescope as well. Emily says she loves my shirt. Yeah, you like my shirt. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Hey, that sounds familiar, right? From a famous song. And this is going to be really great. Pam says, yes, my daughter said she saw a meteor shower Saturday right around midnight, and she says it was multicolored. So yes, you can see lots of interesting shooting stars. Any old night, actually, of the calendar year, you can see a meteor shower. I should say meteors, not a shower per se, but odd meteors flowing, one every 15 minutes on average on any old night that you have a clear skies, you can see a shooting star. But a shower is when you have a multitude of these shooting stars coming down. So why don't we head over to the planetarium software and we'll kick that in and see what's in store for this week. So I'm going to get this up and get it all big there. So we can see, of course, as we've been talking about seeing the Jupiter and Saturn conjunction, we'll put this a few hours before. You can see it there. Just after sunset. This is a nice wide angle shot, and you can see Jupiter and Saturn pinning down the southwest skies. So that's something that's definitely worth looking at. Then as we move over towards the eastern, high southeastern sky, you've got Mars in the constellation Pisces, very up there. And then if we kind of move later into Monday night, again, this is December 7th, Monday, late into the night, you'll see as the night progresses, you'll see that the moon comes up. Now, this won't happen until around after midnight. Okay, so this is after midnight. So into Tuesday morning is when you'll see the moon pop up. And what will be really nice is that this is the last quarter moon in the constellation Leo. That's where this is occurring. Constellation Leo. And I'm going to put on the names of some of these stars so that you can see what I'm talking about. Some of the main stars in Leo. Regulus is the brightest star in the constellation Leo. Algebra is one of the stars in the mane of the lion, in the back, just in the back of the neck of the lion. And then you have another star pinning down the tail of the lion called Denebola. Now, Denebola is going to be right next to the quarter moon, the last quarter moon. This is going to be a beautiful sight of a pairing of a fairly bright star in the constellation Leo and the last quarter moon. So that's a beautiful pairing. And Denebola, if we take a look at that in terms of its distance, we're talking 35.9 light years away. That's where Denebola is looking. Imagine, so it takes 35.9 years for the light to reach your eye from Denebola. So again, this is late Monday night, probably into early Tuesday morning. So we're talking about after midnight into 1 o'clock in the morning. It'll be rising in the eastern sky. If you're up there at night, you'll see that beautiful last quarter moon rising. And next to it, you look closely, you'll see Denebola. That's the tail star of the constellation Leo, the lion. So that's what's coming up. And also what's very interesting for those of you with binoculars and telescopes, a little extra, let me see if I can bring this up, is a asteroid. An asteroid is also visible on Monday night, is a really good. So December 7th, so I'm going to hit this back a little bit earlier. So we're going to go back a few hours. So as darkness falls on Monday night, this is December 7th, there is an asteroid that's shining around magnitude 8 and 9. So that means you need at least a pair of binoculars or a small telescope to see this. And it's very conveniently located. And why I'm showing you this is that it's well placed for you to kind of find it. Even if you're new to the hobby, this is something that you have a challenge before you that I think that you can try to see. Now, an asteroid are leftover bits. Remember, let's just backtrack of what an asteroid is, right? An asteroid is basically the leftover building blocks of the solar system, right? So once the solar system formed, all the planets and the moons formed. That occurred about 4.5 billion years ago. There was a lot of still building blocks that was left that didn't make it into forming the moons and planets. And those rocky fragments all went into orbit around the sun, right? And they're orbiting the sun, and a lot of them are, of course, between Mars and Jupiter, a vast majority. There's a belt of this. We call it the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, the fourth and fifth planet from the sun. And one of them is called Psyche. It's one of the larger ones. You can see it's about 253 million kilometers away from us right now. It's shining at magnitude 9.5, and it's about 200 kilometers across. That is what you're looking at. And so where in the sky you should be seeing this, this is very, very cool. So if we look at towards the eastern sky, soon after your darkness falls, Monday, December 7th, look for the Taurus constellation. You can find that above Orion. Orion will be easy to find because Orion has that very iconic 3 stars in a row. It'll look almost diagonal to you. Now, this orientation will be different depending on where you are in the world, where you're watching. I am in Montreal, Canada, around mid-northern latitude. That means I'm halfway between the equator and the North Pole. So this is the orientation I have. If you're closer to the equator of the Earth, these constellations will be higher in the sky. Orion will be riding higher in your sky than it is for me in the early evening. So just be aware of that the orientation will be slightly different if you're in the southern hemisphere, if you're near the equator. However, what you'll be looking for is these 3 stars of Orion, which are the belt stars, and just looking to the right of them, okay, or above in this case, you'll be hitting another bright star called Aldebaran. Aldebaran marks the red eye of the bull, or the orange eye of the bull, actually. And that's the color of the star. Very bright. It's one of the brightest stars in that part of the sky in the east after darkness falls. And you'll be looking for another star that marks the tip of one of the horns of Taurus, the bull. And I'm going to be very excited, I think, that if you guys can find this, because I would love for you guys to be able to see an asteroid. Now, it's a little tricky because you're not going to see it whooshing through your field of view, like you might see it in some animation. The asteroid is moving fast, but it's so far away, and it takes time. I mean, you'd really notice it over many hours, or maybe from a night to night, definitely you would notice it. And I'll show you in an animation in a second. I'll animate this and show you skip a couple of nights. But it's about the asteroid Psyche is about halfway between Aldebaran and the Zeta Tau. It's named this star that's at the end of the bull's horn. So Psyche is this wonderful asteroid that's 200 kilometers across, and it's almost halfway in that line between the end of the bull's horn to Aldebaran. In that line, very easy to see. Now, what's interesting is if I would skip, say, a day to Tuesday, December 8th, you'll notice there's a movement. Watch. This is December 8th, December 9th, December 10th, December 11th, December 12th, December 15th, 13th, 14th, 15th. Do you see what's going on? Psyche is moving towards Aldebaran. So eventually it will get closer to Aldebaran, the bright star, and it'll make it even easier to spot Psyche. So we'll come back to Psyche soon, but I just wanted to show you, if I go really close, look, even the moon goes by there. We're already talking January 5th. So by January 5th, Psyche will be right next to Aldebaran, a great passing that's on January 5th. So this is just a great preview, if we're looking at it now, what you can see. So I'll just push it back to Monday night. Here we go, into the evening. So what you're going to be looking for is Psyche between the bull's end, the tip star of the bull, one of the bull's horns, Zao Tau, and Aldebaran. That's where Psyche will be. So check that out, December 7th. And then you saw from the animation, it's just going to get more interesting as this asteroid kind of approaches that star. Now, and it's not physically approaching, remember. So, Aldebaran is a star that is so far away. I mean, we're talking, a star that is light years away, 66.6 light years away. So it's not physically close, but from our line of sight, it looks like this asteroid will be getting close to Aldebaran by early January. So this is something going to be very, very cool as well to see. So moving on to Tuesday, talking about another asteroid, Vesta, will be very interesting. So let's move into Tuesday. There we go. We're on Tuesday, and let me see, Tuesday, early morning. And we're going to set this again for the moon. You can see right there. And we're going to look for Vesta. And the Vesta asteroid, again, is in Leo. So I was just talking about watching Leo. Well, take a look at this. What's really neat is you've got Vesta, another super bright, even brighter asteroid. And this would be easier to see. But again, this is something after local midnight is really the best time to see it. It is 329 million kilometers away, Vesta is. And it is one of the largest, the third largest asteroid in the asteroid belt. And it is a whopper at 505 kilometers across. So this very bright asteroid will be shining around magnitude 7 and 8, which will make it pretty easy to find with binoculars. And making it easier to pinpoint where to look will be, of course, the quarter moon. And look where it is. So what you'll have is an interesting triangle between the nebula, right, Vesta, and the moon. So you'll have these three forming this very interesting triangle. And this is something with binoculars, again, to see this asteroid. It's a really amazing sight to be able to see. What does the asteroid look like? This is a close-up view from a spacecraft. You can see it has craters on it, has grooves on it. We think there may be even water reservoirs inside, mixed in underneath, underground. This is a really interesting, it's a leftover building block of when the solar system was formed. It's a wonderful cosmic archaeological find for astronomers. And you can actually see it with binoculars in your skies. And if you look at it over many days, you'll see this is Tuesday, Wednesday, the moon will be out of the way, but Vesta will still be there. And you can see it's kind of moving around the back legs of Orion, right? That's Orion, sorry, not Orion, but Leo, the lion. So the back legs of Leo, the lion's back legs, is where you'll be looking for Vesta. Again, that is Tuesday in the early morning. That is probably the best time to see it. Magnitude 7 or 8. It's a great time to see it. So if we move on to now Thursday, and we go 1, 2, 3, Thursday night after sunset, and we try to go a little bit darker skies. There we go. So one of the things with the moon out of the way in the early evening, this is a really great time to see what we call deep sky treasures. So one of my favorite deep sky treasures, of course, is star clusters. I love looking at star clusters. They're easy to see. Some of them are easy to see with the naked eye. Some star clusters you can see very, very well with binoculars. In fact, there's hundreds of them available that you can see with the naked eye. And if that is something that you're interested in, and is kind of looking at them, a good pair of binoculars, even like something like a 7x50, which is a very standard pair of binoculars, you might have one lying around somewhere in the house, will be great for looking at star clusters. They're fairly bright. They're basically it's as their name implies, clustering of stars, kind of a tight grouping of stars. Some of them look like they're scattered about, but definitely a tight-knit group. Others are what we call globular star clusters, where they look like a mound of sugar on a table, black tablecloth, as if you're looking down below them. It's a ball structure kind of in terms of globular star cluster, and that is really cool too. And we've talked about those before, and we will again. I'll revisit some interesting ones. But what I want you to look for on Thursday night, this is something really nice. Thursday, December 10th. Is what we call a double star cluster. And I'm going to just set this on my planetarium software so we can see it. And it's right in between the constellation Perseus, our young mythological hero. Let me move over here. I've got this set now. You can see looking up in the northeastern sky on December 10th, you'll be looking for a star cluster. In fact, what's special about this, it's what we call a double star cluster. It's really beautiful. Last week we talked about in Cassiopeia the Queen, two clusters. One of them was of course, the owl star cluster over here. But I'm looking at these two, and they're beautiful with parabinoculars and a small telescope. It's just breathtaking to see these. And they lie right underneath this W-shaped constellation, which is Cassiopeia. It's this W shape of stars that marks Cassiopeia, and just off the right-hand side of that, just below, is where you'll find this double cluster. And it's easy to see with binoculars, even from light-polluted cities. And what does it look like? Check this out. Through a backyard telescope. This is a photograph taken with a backyard telescope. Look at that beautiful sight. These are two star clusters that happen to be lined up from our line of sight. Just absolutely beautiful, this double star cluster. And get this, they are 9,600 light years away. That is how far away this star cluster is. 9,600 light years. It takes that long, 9,600 years, for the light to reach your eye when you're looking at this double star cluster. Now, as always, remember, guys, I will be putting sky charts every day on my Facebook, Instagram pages. So, in the comment section, on the timeline, you don't want to miss that. All those sky charts for all these things I'm talking about. And the best way is to make sure you follow my channel. So make sure, if you're on YouTube or you're on Facebook or on Twitch, make sure you like this video, make sure you follow my channel, and you won't miss any of my sky charts and notifications of what's up in the sky, so you won't miss it. And remember, I'm just giving you easy things that are within the reach of you as a beginner. And if you have a telescope or binoculars, these are great objects, targets to be hunting down and looking for. And so in this case, we're talking about the double cluster in Perseus. See, it's in the head of Perseus, the mythological hero that slayed, of course, you can see the head here of Medusa with her snake hair, right? She used to, so anyone looking at Medusa would be, of course, turned to stone. And here we have our mythological hero positioned in the sky with that beautiful double cluster in his crown, almost right there. It's just absolutely beautiful. We zoom in, you can see, even with the digital software, you can see the names, of course, superimposed. But if you see those clustering, that tighter clustering of stars, and through a backyard telescope, of course, it looks magical. Really does look magical. And even with binoculars, just great. 9,600 light years away, the double cluster in Perseus. So just beautiful. Check that out. Thursday night, fantastic. Now let's move. If you're an early bird, why don't we move over into the morning sky? There's something really interesting in the morning skies on Friday and Saturday. So this is the 11th and 12th of December. We'll move over. Let's set our scene for days here. We'll move forward to the 11th. We'll go into sunrise and looking towards the east, southeast. Look what greets us. Again, the moon. Now the moon has become, remember we were talking at the early in the week on December 7th, it was a last quarter move. Now it is a thin crescent, a dramatic thin crescent, guys. And this is just absolutely beautiful because it will be wedged between two very different celestial objects. So to the upper right, again, this is before your local sunrise on Friday morning, December 11th. The moon will be wedged in between the bright star called Spica. This is the lead star in the constellation Virgo. And then to the left of the moon, below left, will be, of course, unmistakable Venus, this super bright morning star pinning down the southeastern horizon. Just a beautiful sight. And of course, if you go out a little bit earlier, you will see it a much darker view, about an hour before your local sunrise. You can easily see Spica. So if you're having problems, if you go out earlier, you'll have an easier time than closer to sunrise, your local sunrise. Might get washed out Spica. And Spica, by the way, is a much farther star than some other ones that we've talked about. Spica is, believe it or not, Spica is 250 light years away. It's a beautiful blue-white diamond that is in the sky, pinning down Virgo the Maiden, and will be just floating above the moon. That's where it will be located, above right of the moon. Again, this is Friday, and just before your local sunrise. Now, if we move to Saturday morning, look at that. So for most of us around the world, this will be an absolutely beautiful sight as well, because you'll have an even thin, razor-thin crescent moon. This might be even a challenge to see for some of you. And I put that out to you, but it is absolutely spectacular. And right next to that razor-thin crescent moon, Saturday morning, December 12th, will be Venus. Will be very close to that crescent. Just an absolutely fantastic way to begin your day next weekend on Saturday, December 12th. And what will be particularly interesting, guys, when you're seeing this pairing between these two worlds, right? Venus and Jupiter. I said Venus and the moon. Anyone who's on the Pacific side of North America out to Hawaii will see a daytime occultation of Venus by the moon. Wow. So what does that mean? It means that Venus will appear to hide behind the moon. This will be visible for those of you along the Pacific coast of North America and out into Hawaii area. And it'll be in your daylight time. So it'll be best to use binoculars to see this. Remember, be very careful because of the sun's proximity. But this is something that will be quite something to see for those of you that can catch it. It's a great observing challenge. Most of us will see this beautiful sight right here with the two objects very close together, Venus and the moon, beautiful crescent moon. But imagine seeing Venus hide behind the moon, playing peekaboo with the moon during daylight. Once the sun rises, it takes a few hours later. That will happen for those of you in the Pacific time zones of North America and out to Hawaii in the Pacific. I will put, of course, sky charts and information about this Venus occultation. Really exciting to see that as well. And just a beautiful sight to see these two things. Now, we finally reach Sunday, December 13th. And what we have in store, of course, is the Geminid meteor shower. The Geminid meteor shower will be peaking on the night of December 13th into the morning of December 14th, Monday. So Sunday night into Monday morning. Let me just put that into the right time period. So early night, if you look on Sunday night, you go out after your local darkness falls, look towards the northeast, and you're looking to the radiant of the Geminid meteor shower. This is the radiant. This shower will be the best meteor shower show of the entire year of 2020. And we need some nice things for 2020. And to make lots of wishes, this is going to be it. because the Geminids will peak anywhere between 60 to 120 shooting stars per hour. And the Geminids are on par with the summer August Perseids, which you've probably heard about, the August meteor shower, especially those of you in the northern hemisphere. This is the Perseids in August are very well positioned for summer holidays. But the Geminids you may not have heard of because it's around the cold season in the northern hemisphere, around the holiday time for all of us around the world. Very busy time of the year, and this is usually forgotten, the Geminids are, but their performance is equal or even better than the Perseids. So this year, what's really particularly good about the Geminids over the Perseids is that there's no moon for the Geminids this year. No moon in the earlier part of the night. There's actually no moon at all. So what that means is that you are going to be left with an amazing sight as the Geminids peak overnight. So soon after darkness falls, looking towards the northeast is where you'll see the what we call the radiant of the shower. This is, you can see on this animation, all those spikes coming out, those streaks of light coming out from one region in the sky. And that's the namesake of the Geminid meteor shower, the Gemini constellation. And they're marked very easily by seeing the two stars, Castor and Pollux. The heads of the twins are marked by these two very bright stars. And it's in that region of the sky where the Geminid meteors appear to radiate out from. Now, the cause of the Geminid meteor shower is a parent object called Phaethon, which is a weird asteroid comet-like kind of object that has been sloughing off, shedding a lot of material into space, and Earth slams into that leftover debris from this rock comet, basically. And as we slam into it, those sand grain-sized particles burn up in the atmosphere. And that's what causes this light show that you're seeing spraying out from the Gemini constellation. And so December 13th, Sunday night, into December 14th, Monday morning, is the peak time for this shower. So I have what you're seeing here on the screen is looking towards the northeast after darkness falls around 7, 8 o'clock at night. You can see it's like by 9, 10 o'clock, it's rising higher, and 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. This is really when that radiant is at its highest, as you can see here in my skies here in the southeast part of the sky, southern part of the sky. This is when you get to see most of the meteors. That's the darkest part of your night, and that is when you'll see even the fainter meteors. So expect to see, if you're in the dark countryside away from the city, no light pollution, you'll see upwards of 100, 120 shooting stars per hour with the Geminids. If you're stuck in the city, those numbers will be much more modest, around 30 to 60 shooting stars per hour. Still an amazing sky show. Lots to see. Again, December 13th into December 14th, Sunday night into Monday morning is when you'll see all of these shooting stars. And even if you're in a downtown region with lots of light pollution, look for fireballs with the Geminids. And remember, fireballs are baseball, basketball-sized stones, maybe even as small as a grapefruit, that are mixed in with all that sand-sized debris and that debris cloud left behind by that rock comet that Earth is slamming into. And when that happens, when one of those larger stones enters the atmosphere at speeds of up to 150,000 kilometers per hour, it burns up, but it can also cause what's called a bolide or a fireball, unusually bright meteors, right? And so that's what's in store for us with the Geminids. Even for those of you that are in within city limits, you can see fireballs. There are more of them, more chances of seeing them during the peak hours of prolific meteor shower like the Geminids are. So I can see a lot of you guys are excited about it. Share with me your views. I'd love to see it. Now, before I go, a little programming note. I will actually be broadcasting with Astronomers Without Borders, my favorite nonprofit astronomy charity that does good work around the world, bringing STEM education, building community in over 143 different countries. That's where Astronomers Without Borders are, and I work with them. I love AWB, and at Astronomers Without Borders, we'll be doing a broadcast, a live stream from with beautiful live views of the meteor shower from an observatory off the coast of Africa in the Canary Islands. And this is going to be a beautiful broadcast. I'll be hosting that show. I'll have night sky experts with me that I'll be chatting with. And so that's going to be on Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time is when I'll be on. I'll be posting all that information in the comment section on YouTube, on my Facebook channel, Twitch, wherever you're watching. Make sure you hit that notification button. Make sure you like this video. If you like this video, make sure you like my channel. I'd love for you to be my stargazing friend. As you can see, lots of things to see this week. I hope you have clear skies. I love seeing and reading all of you. Michelle from Australia, thank you for joining me. Austin from Alberta. Wish all of you guys everywhere, wherever you're watching, you get to see some of these amazing sights. And I'll be posting sky charts for you throughout the week. So stay tuned and make sure you join me for my very special broadcast with Astronomers Without Borders on Sunday night, December 13th, and we'll see the Geminids. Even if you're clouded out or you don't have a chance to see them, we'll be able to see them, get an early sneak peek of them. For those of you in North America, we'll start at 7 p.m. and we'll be able to start seeing them through that beautiful broadcast with live views from one of the darkest skies in the world off the coast of Africa. Isn't that going to be amazing? So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're staying safe and healthy. Leave your comments in the chat room. I'll be going through them. I love hearing from you. If you've got any sky watching questions, pass them my way. Let me know if you want to see something particular on my videos. I'd love to do that. So join me every week right here, same time, same place. With that, I hope you have a great day and come back next week. Clear skies. Bye-bye.